We're live now.
All right, sweet.
Joe Jax, the man.
What's up,
We're on
dude?
the job site.
We
Let's
just
go.
kiss right now.
We just make out passionately.
It was just Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the site, dude. I wanted to do something like this. This is fucking
This
awesome.
is sick. And to give you a little context, we're technically supposed to be off this job site. They cleared out this job site. It's empty. They told us to get out of here, kick rocks, and we said, perfect. We'll come back in 30 minutes and film a pod.
Yeah, well, Tony's like a true artist. If he sees, some bearded working man doing something on the site, or some people shoveling, he pulls out his camera and takes pictures of it.
I've been taking job site photos, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I just I want to capture. I love the construction characters so much. They're the best.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a secret world or something, because not everybody's it's like nobody's just walking around a construction site, but there is so much beauty around here. I mean, it just looks sick. All the
This is a very sick background.
heavy equipment. Sometimes they kind of look like big dinosaurs or something, like the real big ones when they're around. It kind of feels like
Yeah.
I'm walking around some kind of
No, absolutely.
prehistoric
Those Lols are sick.
machinery.
I love a good Lol.
No, it's fucking awesome, dude. I mean, I try my best to remember to
Kind of take it all in.
soak it in a little bit when I'm here.
Yeah, you should soak it all in. How has Longhorn Blinds been treating you, by the way?
It's been good. This is my first, honestly, this is my first job where I kind of feel sort of dignified working somewhere. Like, my last few jobs were warehouse jobs,
Yeah.
and it's like, really, I was so lazy and I didn't care about it. And, like,
Yeah.
there's just nothing cool or virtuous about, printing stuff at a warehouse and kind of looking at my phone all day and not really making any money. Whereas here with the hard hat and the vest and even just the ability
Really?
to like tell someone I work in construction, like,
Wow.
I know it sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but you picture like you're on a date and you're trying to explain your job and you're like, I work at a warehouse, but like, trust me, it's not Amazon. And like, like
Wow.
I get to read at work. I have to kind of like do a whole spiel to make it seem
Oh.
like I'm not a loser.
Wow.
Whereas I feel like now if I say construction, I'm not as embarrassed.
Wow. Okay. Well, I always had the different feeling where I would just be like, I'm a stand-up.
Yeah.
I'm a stand-up. I don't want to. Maybe they do like the fact maybe I should just say I work in construction.
I guess when I say stand up, it comes with a few more questions of
It
like, do you make any
does,
money from it? And
yeah,
I go,
'cause
no,
it's
but
kind of a
someday
lie,
I
yeah.
will.
It does feel like a lie when I say stand-up on the dating apps. Like it's
Well, we do stand up, and that is kind of
that's
like,
not my job.
yeah, it's not your job, but I
Yeah.
will say that like doing stand up, surprisingly, it really helps with dating or just meeting people. It's like an interesting thing about you that people like.
It really does.
Even though to
Yeah.
me sometimes I can feel like kind of a loser,
Yeah.
it's like stand-up comedy. Like, who cares? It's like you have a microphone and talk about your dick. But some girls are like, oh, that's really cool. Like, when can I
Yeah.
go to a show?
No, I mean it is. We really forget how cool and awesome it is, and like all the beautiful things. I forget that all the amazing things it's brought to my life.
I wouldn't know you.
Bro, I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
know
have
you.
this job. I wouldn't live in Austin.
My God, I mean the amount of people that I've met from stand-up is unreal.
Yeah.
It's just unreal.
And a lot of people don't have that. Like, I'm not exposed to it, but from my understanding, based on reading headlines and like
Mhm.
a general, what people say about the world right now is that a lot of people lack community. Like a lot of
Really?
people just, yeah, you've heard that, I'm sure, like the
Wow.
male loneliness. You've never heard people talk about that.
I know.
Some internet shit, honestly,
Okay.
you're better off not knowing
Yeah.
about it. But the idea is that like, guys are getting laid less and people are like, lonelier generally, and they're
Wow.
staying at home playing video games, and nobody really knows how to like find a group of friends or like meet people. That's what they say. I don't have that problem because
Yeah.
with stand up, I'm just
Dude.
surrounded by people all the time.
And it's everywhere we go. You go everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
You have a community. You have that fraternal bond of like, oh, you're a stand-up? Fuck yeah, this is. I felt so comfortable when I was traveling. Like, I liked just going to the club and being like, I was like, oh, these are my boys.
Yeah.
These are like,
Yeah.
especially there's women. But the women are my boys too, though.
Yeah. Those are the dogs. I
The
mean, I think
dogs.
anybody, they need, you need to go to like a fucking class or something, or like for my brother, it was rock climbing. You just meet
Yeah.
people by having some kind of hobby or activity.
Yeah.
Video games are not really a hobby, or gooning or whatever. It's not. It's not really gonna get you
It is
anywhere.
for JJ Lieberman.
I mean, he made a
It's
fucking
living.
career
Yeah,
off of it.
That's
Yeah.
a living now.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I think we were all very lucky. I mean, like, a lot of the people we're around right now, Billy, Jimmy, Christoph, Jake, like a large percentage of our friends we've known for like 5 years now.
Bro, isn't that so crazy that like I was so blessed to start in Orlando. Do you ever think about how awesome it was that we started in Orlando?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think especially people who are trying to start out in Austin, and
Oh,
you
it's
got to like
brutal.
go to the open mics and stuff. And maybe it's still fun. Like I think there's the open mics are chill, but I was
Yeah,
very glad that I got like 6 years of comedy in before I
dude.
really had to like be around
But
a
also
big
the
scene.
people that we came up with are like phenomenal now, like
Yeah.
doing so well, and it's
Oh,
like
I mean, Cam isn't.
Cam Patterson is just
That's like
unreal.
one of the success stories, even outside of
I,
like Florida.
I mean, I don't think there's gonna be anything as big as him for a very long time. Oh,
Me and you, brother.
me and you, dog. Fist pounded that. Kiss again.
We just make out.
There's gonna be a common theme during this pod.
Well, yeah, it's always funny, like thinking about somebody like Cam
Yeah.
you just can talk about like I remember him when he was like getting off of work at like the grocery store and like
Dude.
still in his uniform and
Yeah.
then doing open mics.
Him leaving a gun in my car for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he used to bring guns to open mics.
Yeah, do you find like extended family and people that they get like stand up and kind of your lifestyle and what your goals are, or are they a little bit confused by it? You seem like
No, they don't understand it.
not that you'd be like a black sheep, but definitely
Yeah.
that you'd be a little confusing to some people,
Yeah.
some normies.
No, they don't understand it. My dad still is like, I mean, he's finally like, all right, he's been doing this for like 6-7 years now. Like, I mean, he's just finally like asking questions. Will he ever go to a comedy show? I don't know.
Oh, really? He's never seen you?
He's never seen me.
Wow.
He's never seen me. They're like, my family is very, it's a very educated family. They're kind of like, they're a little more shy. They're not as outgoing as me. They're, my dad's in public relations, so like he's always worried about your view to the public, like what you view, like. And so I mean,
Which is not. I mean, stand up is like we're putting out.
I say a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah,
too, honestly.
just personal things and talking about drugs and fucking having sex and stuff.
Yeah, and I think I walk around with guilt, and I'm like, I do think I'm like, maybe I don't really talk about that crazy of stuff. The craziest stuff I talk about is sex.
Yeah.
Like, but me and my dad have never had the sex talk.
Mm-hmm.
There's never.
Oh, he never sat you down as a kid?
No.
Oh,
I never watched. I
interesting.
never even saw my parents kiss. There was like a lot of. I had a very strange upbringing, so yeah. And my dad's side of the family is very cold and like, yeah, you go to family reunions and like, everyone at the family reunion is like, they're astrophysicists, or they're some sort of engineer that went to like Princeton, Harvard, or Yale, and they're like, "What are you doing, Tony?" I'm like, "Oh, I work in construction and I'm doing stand up," and they're like, "Oh, okay, good for you."
Mm-hmm.
They really don't understand it.
I have to explain it in a very specific way
Yeah.
if it's gonna make any sense to anybody.
Okay.
You think I'm good with this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Please.
Yeah, like extended family members, they just care about money. They just want to.
Right.
That's what they care about. So I kind of have to be like, yeah, sometimes, but if I do this or that or whatever.
That's where I'm at now. Is I'm like that guy? Yeah, I'm friends with that guy.
Mhm.
That's where I'm at in my
Oh,
career.
I brought up Cam quite a few times.
Yeah,
over,
Cam
over
was like
Thanksgiving
my
break.
number one. It's funny how Cam was the guy that like opened my sister's eyes maybe a little bit. Hannah and Sammy were always
'Cause
very
he's on
supportive.
television now.
But they're like, "Yo, that's crazy,"
I know.
like that, like
And that's the plan, for everybody to find some kind of like.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have glory fantasies ever? Are you the type that like daydreams about like people talking about you someday or like you being a big deal in the future?
Bro, I cringe at it so hard, but I do this thing.
Yeah.
I do this thing where I do fake like documentary interviews in my head.
Tony, me too.
Bro,
all the time.
Of what other people.
It's almost how I form my thoughts now.
It's
like in order for me to come up with an opinion or a
Yeah.
thought about something, I have to first imagine myself speaking it to some kind of journalist or podcast. Dude, I've fucking argued with Joe Rogan so many times in my head.
Really.
Mhm.
It feels so cringy. You're like, what am I
Well, it's
doing?
it's your body's natural. I mean, I think everybody does it to some degree.
Okay, because to me,
I think most people, I think, have had the thought that when they're listening to a really good song, they picture themselves singing
Yeah.
it to a crowd of people.
Yeah. Well, to me, I'm like, is this like borderline like? It almost is like schizophrenia adjacent in a way, where
Yeah, go ahead.
it just is like. It feeds a little bit into my anxiety. Like it's like, hey, why don't you focus on what you're doing right now in this moment instead of like daydreaming of like something where your mind is like wandering off.
Yeah, I think
You have like these fake. They're not like voices, but they're like fake scenarios running in your
they're
head.
glory fantasies. Yeah.
Okay. Glory fantasies.
Yeah, I think it's the most normal thing in the world. I think
Okay.
somebody I saw on TikTok tried to like pathologize it and say that it's not really like a healthy sort of mechanism in your brain that really you're like it means you're like lacking something, you
Mm.
know, in order like to have those kind of fantasies. But I can't help it, you know. I've always
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of you know how they say like, oh, you got to be crazy to do stand up or to be an artist or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
think stand ups are necessarily all crazy. Like I don't think we're like
No.
fucked up, but I think that what I've noticed is there's a tendency for like comedians to be like attention seeking, and
Right.
maybe not like class clown all the time, but
A
you
little
know,
attention seeking.
I think for me, I have it in my head, and I try to balance it in like a healthy way, but an idea that I am really special, you
Yeah.
know, like that
Yeah.
all this guy is like really important, and he's gonna like say some important stuff, and he's like
Okay.
worth listening to, and
Yeah.
everybody needs to understand how I feel, and
You feel that way
Mhm.
genuinely all the time?
um. It sounds narcissistic, but I even just mean it in terms of for real, like
Yeah.
um, to the degree that everybody else does. I think everybody is sort of convinced that they're special. You know, we're the
Right.
main characters.
Right.
I'm sure. Some people I talk to kind of push back and they go, "No, I only care about other people." And I go, "Yeah, I care about other people too, but I think
Mm.
generally, like, it's something I keep in check. Like I'm not like fucking jacking myself off all the
Right.
time,
Right.
but
Right.
there's something in my brain. It has to be. I think if you're a comedian, you have to be convinced like I am saying I'm like talented or like I am
Okay.
special
Yeah.
or I am like, you know, I was put on this earth to do something, you know, or whatever, which I don't think is necessarily that healthy, but I
Yeah.
can't help it.
Yeah. You can't help it. Well, I definitely don't feel that way after I have bad sets where I'm like, yo, this sucks. Like,
No, you go, maybe am I even funny?
yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Well, I'm very tired of a lot of my jokes. I'm like, I've matured so much out of them. You know, it's such a trope to talk about sex. I like to talk about sex in different ways, like
Yeah.
maybe dissecting sex or looking at like
Well, you have a certain way of identifying the strangeness of
yeah,
life
right.
that a lot of people are usually unaware of. You
Okay.
know, like even just the idea of saying, "Isn't sex weird?" Because
Yeah.
it is weird.
It is weird, and people are
Yeah.
like, no.
But
It's
we
like,
live in,
yeah,
you know, we just
it
live our
is.
lives and things don't appear weird. But when you go, "Isn't this fucking weird?" I think that's a good perspective to have.
Well, it is fucking weird, and I try to put myself in the woman's shoe. The big thing I've been thinking about is like how crazy sex is for the woman.
Yeah.
It's like
You wish you could have a female orgasm? I do.
no, maybe sure, yeah, why
They
not?
feel in their whole body. They
Yeah,
fucking convulse,
they do
dude.
like ah!
Yeah.
They
I mean, I've never seen it
yeah,
in front of me, but
yeah, they're like going into some Super Saiyan shit. But
yeah.
it is like it does blow my mind to think about that a woman gets entered and we're the enteree.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a lot of you know, I mean, the idea of like the differences between men and women, that conversation has been going on since like the beginning of humanity,
Yeah. Okay.
you know.
Yeah. Right.
I think, and I don't know, this is maybe like a psychoanalytical thing, and this isn't as popular anymore, but the idea of, yeah, just biologically the way we're set up, you know, men are like, it's phallic, like we are piercing, where there's something kind of violent about it, and
Yes.
women
Yes.
are receiving, and you've kind of seen like a extrapolation of that throughout history, you know, there's like the aggressor and the victim of that or whatever,
yeah,
you know, it's like
no, I mean, just the act of you doing like
yeah,
that. Like you
you
think
know,
of a
we are
man
penetrating.
yeah. Well,
you know,
I thought of like a man in battle, like, at war, like stabbing into someone.
yeah, and sex has always been viewed differently. I mean, for
Yeah.
men, it's treated as some kind. Maybe things are changing nowadays, honestly, but throughout history, it's seen as some kind of conquest. You know, like for a man, sex is overcoming. You're gaining things. You're gaining manhood. You're gaining respect in the tribe. You're like, a lot of things are earned through sexual conquest, whereas for women it's the complete opposite. They're losing their purity. They're losing their innocence.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean it is. I think
Yeah.
you should read some feminist theory. You know, it's like
That's what I'm saying. That's what
yeah.
I mean. It's so much more vulnerable and like you're taking a piece of
and
the
there's
woman.
risk involved. I mean,
There is.
women have to be scared of us.
Isn't that? Have you ever got someone pregnant before?
No, and I never will.
Yeah, you don't think so?
Well, I can't get someone
Oh
pregnant now.
fuck
Yeah.
yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's kind of a fucking blessing.
Yeah,
I don't have
it
to
is
worry about
a
it.
little bit of a blessing in disguise.
But no, not only are you at risk of
Yeah.
giving birth, but in general, guys are there's always the sense of like this could turn at any moment. Guys never have to consider that.
Yeah.
It's not like we're around a fucking girl and we're worried about them like harming us in any way. But with girls, even like someone who seems nice can end up being like a fucking
Crazy.
horrible person. Yeah.
No, I know it's crazy. Like traveling, like I'm like staying in all these hostels. I'm like, yo, this is like the hostels are made for just men. Then there was one hostel I stayed in at Madrid that was like it's the most women I've ever seen in a hostel because it was like very woman fueled. But most of the hostels are like dingy and they're just gross and there's like it's just like fat guys snoring everywhere and you're like this. How can
you
a
fucking
woman
watch
travel?
Taken and you're like,
Yeah.
this, things could go fucking south for me if I make the wrong move or if I'm around
Yeah.
the wrong person. Even in New York City, if you want to go on a jog at night,
Yeah.
fucking forget about it as a woman. And like look at how cool we are for even being aware of this stuff. It's
I
like
know, right?
I support women.
Hey,
like,
pussy
dude, like,
points right here.
fucking, I
Come on,
love
hey, pussy.
chicks, dude. I'm safe. You can be safe around me, bro. Like for real. Like let me fuck you. No, it's like
And we're men, dude. And we're like on a job site being like
Yeah.
hard as fuck.
Well, because I have such a
And we
problem
can
with
fix shit for you and build shit for you.
I have such a problem with like the men's rights activist stuff. Like men
Dude, that
have it
shit's
very
so
hard.
cringe, bro.
Yeah.
It's so cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Which sometimes I do buy into it where I'm like, I remember I was telling a girl one time, I was like, you don't want to be with me because I like you too much. Like I'm showing you too much, like showing you that I like you too much.
Well, you know what? There are a lot of issues with the masculinity, and one of them is the fact that you can't show your feelings or whatever.
That's bullshit to me. Why can't you show your feelings?
I think you can. I do.
Yeah.
I do all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely, when you're around certain men, I'm sure you notice a sense of like a bootstraps attitude and like people that, it's like equating vulnerability with attack, or like if you show too much of yourself, then you're like exposing. You're like, taking off your armor, and then somebody can like stab you. When the truth is, that's a very insecure kind of attitude.
Yeah.
It's someone who's afraid. It's like there's nothing courageous about like being scared that somebody's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
I think generally, yeah, it's like the live as truthfully as you can. And I love exposing myself to people on trains, at parks. No. But like, yeah, just like being completely honest at all times and showing my vulnerability and stuff. It's like, if you can't do that with another person, why are we fucking here?
It's a beautiful way to look at it, dude. Yeah. I do. I feel like I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot. And it's because I think, raised majorly by women.
Yeah, because you didn't have a father figure in your life
No,
telling you to
I did
cover your chest.
My dad was definitely like very, no, he was like a dad. He was still like an asshole and like mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like a mama's boy, and I had two older sisters, and I like to compare. I have like a woman's brain. I overthink a lot. I overshare. I dwell on things too much. I fight like a woman. Like I'm not like quick to like get physical. I'm quick to like be mean and nasty with just like words I'm saying.
Yeah.
Try to like tear someone down with my
Mm-hmm.
words.
Yeah, well, certain feminine qualities like that aren't a bad thing. I mean, I'm
No, I think they're
I'm
good.
the least masculine person when it comes to It's like I write fucking poetry and
Yeah.
like I like to cry and I like to, but I think there's such a balance, and either gender can take whatever they want. I mean, best case scenario, masculine or feminine, that you're just like a kind person and you care about other people and you live as like self-actualized as you can. Because, yeah, it's like there's plenty of masculine traits that are great, like being kind of like strong and not complaining or like getting things done and whatever, quote unquote masculine or feminine, it's like being nurturing or being softer and being in touch with your emotion. That stuff is cool too. I think there's like a great, balance you can strike. It's like the yin and yang symbol or whatever is like, I think in traditionally it's like chaos and order or what. I don't know. I'm starting to sound like up my own ass. But
No. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of men and women though. But no, I think at this point in my life at 26, there's a lot of maturity I still have to.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be mature in certain ways, but I think as far as emotional intelligence, I feel like I've got as much figured out as I possibly could at this age.
I feel like you're doing really good.
I hope so.
I mean, I confide into you and seek knowledge from you, and I feel like you have a good like insight on a lot of things.
Yeah, I have my own issues as far as like, like in my own personal life, just figuring out like,
Right.
If I ever have a personal problem with a girl or a friend or whatever, it's not like I have like, the infinite wisdom to be able to handle everything, but I like to think that I at least have a good perspective on things.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have a good perspective on things. Sometimes I don't really know myself at all.
Well, that's what you say,
Yeah.
and I've definitely seen you change since I've met you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Well,
this
I
kind of
drove-
artistic DIY, like
Right.
introspective Tony. Well,
Man,
I guess I didn't know you as well back then.
What
but
would you describe when you first met me? What would you describe me? No holding back too. Just be completely honest.
Well, nothing negative, bro.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even like I could give you like I could say how you're different. I mean, even just physically,
Yeah.
it's like now you've got the long hair and the mustache, and you kind of have like
Yeah.
an interesting way about you. Whereas before, I think it was just more normal. Like you just seemed like a very kind of average man,
Yeah.
Whereas now, I think you've sort of, almost like carved your identity out with like a chisel.
Really? Wow.
I think so. I mean, just in terms of like you just look different, the vibe is different as far as like even just the way you dress or speak or
Wow.
sort of like what you're seeking in life,
I know I've really grown up a ton. Stand-up made me really realize I was, one, a complete idiot. Something needed to change. And I'm like, dude, you don't know anything. Like, because I was in such a bubble where I was in Wekiva Springs. It was a complete bubble. And, I mean, I just going to open mics at Austin's Coffee.
Yeah.
Hanging around, like, people with pink hair and
Mm-hmm.
and people who were like, that transgender comic. And I remember I went there with my buddy one time to Austin's Coffee. He saw the people there with pink hair and like the transgender girl, and he was like, I'm
Yeah.
outta here. I was like, oh, but these are just like the
He's got
people
closed mind, bro.
Which I love him. He's great. He's the
Yeah,
best.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, there was like I don't know. I can't. I'm gonna figure out what it was who I was in that time.
Well, I will say, I think the fact that you're saying like you're still trying to find yourself. I would say you're very lucky
Yeah.
in that you're like elastic. There's like you're still soaking everything in, and there's
Right.
still so much stuff for you to discover. Where I feel like now I'm at an age where I know myself pretty well, and I really genuinely almost miss times in my life when I was a little bit more like, I don't know, neurotic or like I used to just be like way more of just like a bleeding heart. I was just like kind of perpetually confused and like looking for answers.
Yeah.
And like you look at my writing, I was always had some issue or something I was trying to figure out, or I didn't always writing about not knowing myself. And then now that I have a little bit more of like a stable perspective on things, I'm almost like, dude, I want that fucking fire, like that energy back
Yeah.
of like everything being some kind of like self-discovery.
Wow. Okay.
Like I don't know how well, this is fucking stupid to say at 26, but I don't know how much more self-discovery I don't know if as you get older I think like once you reach your 30s or whatever, the self-discovery kind of goes away and you become who you are,
Huh. Well, that's what I think, but again, I'm always learning more about myself. I think therapy's going to show a lot about myself.
Yeah.
Maybe just my tics a little bit,
Mhm.
My
Your
tics,
patterns.
my patterns, without a doubt. Things I do, or like weird little quirks that I have, or
Mhm.
like that's the stuff I want to pick up on.
Yeah. Oh, that's I must have been like Socrates or somebody said like know thyself. There's some like Greek word for it, but that's like the most important thing a person can do is know themselves.
Know thyself.
Yeah, know thyself. It was in the Matrix on top of the door. It says know thyself. But do you think that I had this thought recently of like if my 15-year-old self met me now, like would they be excited or like cool with where my life ended up? And I've ultimately come to the conclusion of like yes, but
bro, yeah, that's a great point.
I mean, I think I'm just curious how that conversation would go. They'd be like, "Do we get a lot of pussy?" And I'm like, "Sometimes."
I guess.
Yeah, I'm like
Kinda,
every
yeah.
now and then.
I mean,
yeah.
way more pussy than you're getting, loser.
Yeah.
Way more pussy than
Oh
your
my
ass
God.
is getting right
You
now.
know, yeah, you fucking
Loser.
fucking pants him. Yeah, well, there's like
Would you suck your own dick?
that's,
Would you?
that's an
Is that even
age-old
gay, bro?
That's an age-old philosophical question.
Is
Is
that
it gay
even
or is
gay?
it masturbation?
Yeah, like we just both jerk each other off.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like sucking the dick, but maybe my 15-year-old self would
Dude,
love getting his dome fucking licked by his future self.
Because at 15, have you had your dick sucked?
No,
No.
not even close. No, I was 17.
Okay.
What about you?
Mine was 16.
Oh
Mine
yeah.
was 16.
Yeah, I mean, it was also a mind-blowing experience. That's one thing that lessons as I get older is like, when I first was getting my dome licked and having sex and stuff, it was just, I couldn't even imagine that happening. Whereas now, if it happens, I'm like, fuck, dude, how do I get, like, I'm going to break this girl's heart. Or, I'm
Yeah,
like,
thank you for reminding me that. Maybe I need to realize what would 15-year-old me do and be like, 15-year-old me be like, bro, you're straight, you got the pussy.
well, you'd probably be like, dude, I'm doing stand-up in
I'm doing
fucking Austin
stand-up.
and, like,
Yeah.
interviewing, fucking this person or whatever. It's like, it's crazy.
You're giving me chills right now. I never think about that at
Well,
all.
it's true. I mean, when I was a kid, the best, the movie that inspired me really, like, that I could make movies, I'd always wanted to be a director, but when I watched that movie Clerks, the Kevin Smith
Oh, I
movie,
love that fucking movie.
the story of how that movie got made is so incredible. He's like 23 and maxed out his credit cards and just made it, and then it was like this huge success. And when I was a kid watching that, I thought, like, I hope I make a movie by the time I'm 23, which is a crazy goal to set for yourself. It's like, most people do not do
you
that.
did though, right?
Well, Get Good, I consider it's feature length. It's
Yeah.
about an hour and a half, and like has way more actors and locations and everything than Clerks did.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, I accomplished that goal. So I could tell my younger self, like, you did make a movie. You're not making one. You didn't make one after that. It's
Right.
like you're still waiting for that. But and you've been doing stand-up for 7 years, and he'd be like, did we meet the love of our life? And I'm like, yeah, dude. She's
Like-
gone,
like
but
10
yeah,
times,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, that's just, you fucked that one up. But
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think there's a lot to be impressed by, luckily, and hopefully it keeps, the life keeps sort of going in an upward trajectory.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think it will be as long as you keep putting projects out and keep.
Yeah, the plan is to have some combination of, like, moving forward and always be, like, working, but also trying so hard to be as present as possible and not always be worried about what you're doing next. Because if you're always worried about the next thing, the next project, the future, it's just going to be perpetually that, and then you die, and you were never really appreciative of what's in front of you.
God damn, you're dropping so much knowledge on this pod, bro. I love this.
Well, I sometimes I get a little too enamored with the smell of my own farts. I could really. Sometimes if I try too hard to go fucking all my deep stuff, I go like, oh, dude, you're jacking off right now. Shut up. Because truthfully, this is all stuff I believe, and you bet you I'm going to be on a date, trying so hard to be deep as hell, dropping truth bombs on chicks so I can sleep with them.
That is like, you would blow a girl's mind right now.
No,
I'm sitting here with my mouth open. I'm like, wow.
Well, what's so funny is, like, sometimes when I like, somebody can really, like, get me go, huh?
Sorry, I heard, you know that song?
No.
She's choosing Texas, I can tell. That's my bad ADHD.
Well, when I really get going with the girls, some girls are like, not, they've heard guys be faux intellectuals before. They're like, oh yeah, be present, blah blah blah. And then some girls are the opposite, where they're just like, oh my god, like, you're so deep and smart. And neither one is true. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think I'm a pretty averagely intelligent guy.
Okay.
Even if somebody's kind of like very enamored by my, like, my little words, I can be like, yeah, but I'm bullshitting you right now. But
got your ass.
But it's all stuff I believe. I mean, I've always, been, trying hard to, like, figure out what this is all about.
Yeah.
And I think I get closer every day, dude. I'm this close to figuring out the meaning of life, bro. I just need to do cocaine one more night, and I'll figure it all out. It's all gonna make sense. It's all gonna go in my book that I'm gonna write someday.
Yeah. That's very construction worker of you to say that.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
If I have sex with just one more person, then I'll be happy. No, it's yeah. But generally, you just try to be as cool with what's going on right now as possible. Do you feel like you are most of the time, like that the life you're living on a day to day, you're kind of like, appreciative of it?
I forget sometimes. No, lately I haven't been. No,
Mm-hmm.
I come home to the apartment where all this stuff is crowded, and I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to go to work, and I don't want to be back out on the fucking dating apps, or
Oh yeah,
I find myself very,
you're saying all stuff that I relate to.
yeah, I love Austin, but I'm like, a part of me wants to go. So no, I haven't been appreciative of it lately.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like one of those AA guys that's like always talking about like the
Yeah.
present moment or whatever. But definitely when I look at your guys' place, I love going over there and you guys are doing some fucking freestyle or some like
Yeah, it is.
especially even the clutter and the way it all looks. I
Yeah.
admire. Like I think it looks like
It
fucking.
is super cool. Like, I need to stop and look, and it's like, this is gonna end one day.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all like, my boys from Orlando, and like, dude, whenever I'm feeling down, Captain Wright makes me laugh so much more than anyone else in this world.
Yeah,
I
dude.
just go in the living room, and he literally him just doing his impressions
Mm-hmm.
of whatever, and like, he's always just has some like silly antics going on. Like, it's very, very fun.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. But I totally understand that most of the time it's just your day-to-day life. So
Yeah, right.
it can be kind of lame sometimes where you always have to stop and go, guys, you're in like a group of friends and somebody goes like, dude, I needed this, or like, dude,
Yeah.
guys, we're here right now. Can we just take a moment and like appreciate that we're all here right now? I mean,
That
like,
is
you want to be
kinda
like,
like-
dude, fuck you,
yeah.
bro, shut up, just let it be. But so I guess you just silently think it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I told you the Kurt Vonnegut quote that me and my dad like toast to is it was in his book Man Without a Country, which I think you would like.
Okay.
It's he was asked like it was a story about his uncle Alex was asked like what about human beings like bothers him the most, and Uncle Alex said like that people are so seldom aware when they're happy.
Mhm.
And this is like his big quote is so that next time you're drinking tea under like a lemon tree with people you love, just take a second and say if this ain't nice, I don't know what is.
Oh.
So it's like me and my dad's like thing. We go like, this ain't nice, I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I think that was a pretty good one to live by. That's like one of his famous like life sayings or whatever.
Plug the bottom in real quick. I just want to make there. It's locked in now more.
Oh, was it
no,
going?
It was going. It was going the whole time. I just was getting a little anxious looking
can't
at
let
it.
this fucking.
I know. I'm sorry.
This powerful truth be.
We spitting the truth
Well,
on you, brother.
you've said a lot of things that I carry with me that I'll say try to remind myself with like Christoph or whatever. Like for one, the groove tax.
Oh, I
I
love
talk
the
about the groove tax. Yeah.
God, I love the groove tax so much.
Another one. I don't know if you remember this moment, but I was at your house once, and I think I was talking about like high school reunions.
Yeah, yeah.
And like going back and whatever. And I think I was feeling some insecurity about when you go to a high school reunion, like everybody's gonna be rich or doing all this interesting stuff or making a lot of money, and I'm just like some guy or whatever. And I think what I said to you was, I'm like, yeah, but what if people there are like all like making a bunch of money or whatever, and you're like, oh, I don't care about that. I'm an artist. And I go, dude, I could totally have that perspective if I wanted
no,
to.
I really truthfully don't. Like, it's like I feel like those people traded in their life, and it's what they see is what they're gonna get. Like, they work so hard to get what we get on like almost a daily basis. The amount of stories, the amount of like.
I need to remind myself that shit, bro.
Bro, I've had so much cool shit happen to me that people will never have happened in their lifetime. That it's just. I'm very blessed, and I do forget that sometimes.
Jacking off under the fucking stars, dude.
Yeah. Jacking off in the desert.
No, it's so true. I mean, I think the older I get, just the more like concerned with money I am, and it's really lame.
Now, I do. There is a little bit because you got to make the money to set you free. I feel like.
Yeah, we have to go to fucking work every day.
That goes hand in hand with the groove tax a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the groove tax so you can groove.
And if you want, it's. The older I get, the more it's like if I want like a serious relationship, at some point I'm gonna have to, be able to provide.
Exactly, and I want to have a home. Like, I'm gonna have a home very soon. I've looked into it. It's not that fucking hard to have a home.
Yeah.
It's really not. Like, you need like really $25,000.
Yeah.
And
Step number 1 though, $25,000. Let me think how long that'll take to get.
But if you lock in if you save and like you really, $25,000 isn't as much as you think it is. I really believe that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not as much.
I mean, this is the first job I had where I'm saving some money.
Right.
So before that, I was breaking even, dude. There was no way.
I think really with this job, if you work 40 hours a week and you budget, and you don't travel, I think you should easily be able to save 10,000 a year.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, I there's a couple habits I gotta kick in order. if I didn't drink, bro, yeah, that's true.
Even with the habits, I think you can still do 10,000.
I think you're right, bro. It's exciting.
Push a little more on doing stand up. You know, maybe go like, all right, I need to make this X amount of money a month doing stand up to cover my habits or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, stand up is like an extra.
Yeah.
Another source of income if you try to.
I mean, I could definitely get more gigs. I mean, I think
if you try to work to get more gigs.
Yeah. I think I've always had a sense of like kind of a carefree attitude when it comes to everything. You know, like, oh, I'll just get on, a few shows a week, hang out with my friends. Like, I don't know, it's like good things will come. And most of the time it does. Like, most of the time I just kind of do my thing. Opportunities arise as they arise, but I'm noticing a certain pressure to be like, oh, I can't just have this attitude forever. Like, that was cool when I was like 22,
Bro,
and I had the future in front of me.
I start to lose my mind a bit because I'm like, yo, why am I in Austin? Why am I just here to hang blinds?
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta.
That's how I'm starting to feel right now.
Yeah.
And I gotta lock. Yeah. It's just a matter of lock in, and it's like lock in, but also enjoy yourself. And also make money, and also, look for a girlfriend, and also,
and
then all of a sudden, I get swirled up into this fucking chasm of self-analysis.
Yeah. I know, it's so much, and it's all trying to find that balance and everything. And that's what I'm saying. Every fucking day I wake up, I'm like, I gotta hit this person up. I gotta make this clip. I'm like,
it feels like too much. Yeah, you don't want to be stressed out.
I'm not trying to stress myself out, but I'm also like, that's why I wish I didn't have to work, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, if I didn't have
Once
to
the
work,
socialist revolution happens, bro.
yeah. Talk to him though.
Yeah.
Talk to him, brother.
We need to seize the means of production, dude. Das Capital.
Man, so when did you start stand up?
I was 19, so it was probably like a few years before you did.
Okay.
And
this is down south or what?
This is in Orlando.
Okay.
I mean, really, truly, the first time I did stand up was like a school talent show.
Okay.
Murdered.
Really?
Better than I've done since then.
Really?
Just because it was such a supportive environment. It was
okay.
It was just, it was such a good feeling. And then.
What did you do? What was your act?
It was making fun of some classmate. And,
are you serious?
Yeah, and so that went really well. And then my mom signed me up for like a stand-up class. I just didn't know how open mics work until I was 19.
Okay.
Is where I figured out how to like that there was a scene and that you'd like do it all the time. I really thought for a long time that stand-up comedy was every 6 months you invite all of your friends to come see you do an open mic. And then eventually I was like, oh no, this is like actually something you do. And then the first conversation I had at a open mic at Austin's Coffee, it was a group sitting around. It was Jake Ricca, Christoph, Mark Gagnon. I think Ben Brainerd was out there.
Legend.
Ariana. So yeah, Joe Sensabel. Like there was just like so
many
people. I still know. And two of whom I live with now. That I just kind of like edged my way into the conversation. I was like the annoying, like, I looked like a child, like being like, hey.
Starry-eyed.
Yeah. And then it's so funny, and then I locked eyes with Christoph, and then it was inseparable ever since.
Wow, and you guys just made out, made love.
Yeah, we made love, dude.
Made sweet, sensual love.
Yeah, and then COVID happened, and then we became boys. And really, truly, like, the biggest advice I would give to anybody who hasn't done stand-up yet is just, like, make friends. Just literally, like, find a couple people you vibe with, and then all of a sudden it's going to be, like, partially you're there for the open mic, but partially you're just there to, like, hang out and have fun.
Yeah, and it's kind of like those are, like, your boys for the rest of your life in a way.
It can be. We got lucky, yeah.
Yeah, as far as, like, if they continue to do stand-up.
Yeah, I mean, you live with Billy and Captain now.
I know, yeah.
Think about the first time you met them.
Yeah, all the time.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. And
where was your first place? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you fucking.
What was your first place doing stand-up at Austin's Coffee?
No, it was at Fat Fish Blue.
Oh, okay.
In Orlando,
That's a side stage at the Orlando
That's where
Improv.
I met Howie.
For anyone, or that time it was the Orlando Improv. Now it's the Funny Bone.
Yeah, do you know the Howie story?
No.
Howie Mandel?
No.
This was like my second open mic ever in Orlando, and I knew nothing about stand-up. I'm going to tell the whole story.
Oh,
it's
please.
kind of embarrassing.
This is
I knew nothing about stand-up.
Okay.
So my thought was, like, I saw, like, a clip on the internet of, like, some random guy telling a joke, and so that was my opener. I just took it from the internet.
Okay.
And in my head, nothing bad's going to happen. Like, I don't care. I just took a joke from the internet, and then that set me up so my other jokes, I just didn't know how to do it. And so I do that, and then I sit down near my friends, and some dude taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, do you have a second? And I'm like, dude, I'm like in trouble for cursing or something. And he brings me to the back. He's like, this is Howie Mandel. and Howie's just standing there. He's gives me a fist bump, and he says, he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? I liked your set. Like, have you ever sold a joke before?" And in my head, I'm like, "Oh, please don't say the first joke." And then he's like, "Oh, that joke about pissing your pants. Like what was that?" And I was like, I made up something. I'm like, "Oh, I saw it on some meme, or like my friend told it to me." He's like, he was still really nice about it. He was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, I love your like awkward delivery or whatever." And then like I sat back down. I was like, "What the fuck?" And nothing like that has ever happened since.
Wait. Why did Howie Mandel wanted to buy the joke?
Yeah, and I almost wish I had sold it to him so I could tell you what he was going to do with it. I mean, realistically, I think TV hosts and stuff and like writers, they buy jokes like that.
Howie Mandel was
on,
just
like,
sitting at the Fat Fish Blue?
Yeah, I think he was friends with like Ken or Carmen or something.
Dude,
or like was
that's
just
crazy.
Or maybe he was doing the improv. I really have no idea. But that's totally true. I have the picture with him. My hair looks so stupid.
Wow.
And
you didn't even ask to open up for him or anything?
It's my second time doing stand up.
Dude, that's insane.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't.
Did you even know who
I didn't even
Howie
know what
Mandel
opening was. Yeah,
mean,
I knew. It was fucking.
What was he?
America's Got Talent.
America.
It boosted my ego
the,
so much, even though it was like the stolen joke. I was like, dude, the host of America's Got Talent, like, fucks with me. So clearly, I'm going somewhere.
What a loser! He was trying to buy a joke off a guy.
I mean, that'd be so funny if this is the thing that goes viral. I tell this story thinking it'll never. I mean, I'm the one at fault also since I stole the fucking joke.
Imagine if Howie Mandel bought the joke off you and then he got somehow canceled for stealing a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would have used it. I think he
Yeah.
would have used it like on a TV show or something.
Okay.
But
that's legendary, bro.
I think if I remember correctly at the time, people were kind of pissed because everybody's like, Howie's in the room, and like they were trying to like put the best people up, and then they just happened to be like, all right, put him up, and then Howie talked to me.
Wow.
And I think Jake Ricco was there.
Yeah.
Heard about that whole story and the fact that it was a stolen joke, and then went to that Irish pub. What was it? With like shit sandwich.
Bull and Bush.
He went to Bull and Bush and made fun of me on stage and like murdered.
Are you serious?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
He was like, this fucking asshole kid.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah,
Jake was salty as fuck, bro.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
he just didn't know me. I
Yeah.
just know what he did. But that's just like, that's crazy. The fact that happened, like,
That's insane.
yeah. But I really thought like this happens all the time. Like,
No.
like this
Yeah.
is this kind of like, somebody tapping you on the shoulder is like gonna happen again. And really,
I've never, in my 7 years, I've never had like anyone remotely famous watch me at an open mic.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
I can't
I have
imagine
in
it
the
happening
shadows.
here. Like, I think it was just like so lucky that like
That's
somebody he was
crazy.
passing through or whatever.
Fucking Howie Mandel.
That's what I would do, bro. If if I ever get famous, I'm going to open mics and being like, "Hey, kid, you got something?"
Yeah, I would
That's
have
part of the glory fantasy.
I would have a fake character. I'd have like a suit I'd wear, and I'd be like smoking a cigar. I'm like, kid, you're gonna be somebody someday.
Yeah.
You could be somebody.
Yeah.
That's
taking some kid under my wing, dude.
Yeah.
That'd
Pretend.
be fire.
You know, like kind of like that. What was that character that to Tony Clifton?
Yeah.
That'd be a fun character to do at open mics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got one. Timmy No Bricks.
Timmy
Is
No
that
Bricks.
taken? Yeah.
I think you're onto something here.
Yeah.
So you started stand up, 19 years old, went to Orlando, met Christoph Jean. Did you and Christoph ever live together?
We live together now, but not before that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we lived in New York at the same time, but he lived with Ross for most of the time in
Yeah.
Orlando. And then it's just been a really chill trajectory. I mean, you've been around it the whole time, with like we made Get Good with
Yeah.
Jake, and that was an incredible creative opportunity.
Yeah.
and-
Can you talk a little about that? How like what's stopping you from creating something like that again? Is it money?
Well, me and Jake have a skit, like a sort of long form kind of short film we're trying to do that I helped him write the script for, but he's doing so much other shit right now that
It's not that one we were talking about recently, is it?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. I mean,
Okay.
realistically,
It's not D's World.
no.
Okay.
These worlds, that's all Jake.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a thing about. It's some idea Jake had about some magician. It's like it's
Okay.
some street magician that actually has
Magical powers.
magical powers. Yeah, and
Okay.
it's an Jake's got a fascinating brain, and
Yeah.
he also knows how to get shit done. That's one thing I really admire about Jake.
He
like,
does for sure.
with Get Good, and the fact that like through comedy somebody was like just handed me the reins, like help me write and then direct this, thing I'm spending like 20 grand on. I was like, yeah, dude, fucking,
You spent 20 grand on it?
I didn't spend a dime. No,
Oh,
Jake
okay.
did. Just the fact that, so, it was like, all I had to do was show up and just write it and direct it. And it was like kind of the greatest opportunity.
Wow.
And I'm proud of it, but yeah, I mean, that's like the kind of goal. I mean, separate from stand up, really, what I want to do is like, just keep writing movies, get something off the ground. It's just stand up is so much easier to do,
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to make a film now, like one thing I know about myself is I'm not the guy who's like rounding the troops, who has an idea for something and is so driven that he's going to like get a whole crew and like get everybody else excited. I don't have this kind of ringleader sensibility. I just know I'm pretty good at writing and if people need a writer, I'm like one of the few guys I think that can do it really well in stand up.
Right.
I think if I were around a film scene, I'd be around a lot of people that are writers and that want to be directors or whatever. But in stand up, really, there's like a much smaller portion of people that are like really good writers.
Yeah. Are you writing scripts for like movies?
Yeah. So I've written like a few scripts for movies, and that's pretty much like that's like my passion. Not that stand up isn't, but
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And I mean, did you have any like big dreams outside of stand up? Do you see yourself doing any like acting or like
no, not really. No.
You just want to get paid doing stand up?
I'd love to get paid doing stand up. I'd like to do every single thing I could possibly ever do in the entertainment industry if I could. That'd be awesome.
Everything.
I'd like to be on Broadway. I'd like to really learn how to my biggest dream, what I really want to do, I want to be able to be a person who can bring instruments on stage and do something with the instruments.
Yeah,
preferably an accordion. If I could really, I know that
you like Steve Martin. I think he does that. No,
he does
I don't
banjo.
Know. Yeah.
But maybe he does the accordion.
Well, I'm not sure, but he's a music guy, right? I haven't watched much Steve Martin stand up.
Not saying I want to be a music act guy. I don't know. I just really like performing. It would be very fun to be able to perform. And I love doing stand-up too, but sometimes stand-up's a little too raunchy. I would really like to just be able to perform for all ages, everybody.
Oh, yeah?
Just make everybody laugh if I could.
Clean comic?
Yeah, but not like clean. Like, I don't know, even maybe slapsticky, something. I don't know, but like everything I could possibly do in the entertainment industry, I would like to do.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
Everything. I mean,
and the world is in front of us, brother.
I know. That's why I'm just trying
to
say yes to everything,
Yeah. Yeah. In general, I get a little worried about just the internet and just where things are going as far as like attention. It just doesn't work the way it used to. It's like everything is content. Everything is people just trying to get as most eyes on themselves. Like constant self promotion.
Yep.
It's like
that's what I'm doing, brother.
I mean, that's what I need to do. Yeah. I think there's it's hard to tell because now I'm doing this podcast and like I'm trying to put myself out there more and just post and like try to make some kind of name for myself.
Yeah.
Especially this year, that's a goal of mine, is to like make something sort of like with the attempt of being popular. Because I was so like I don't know, up my own ass about like not doing content or like selling myself or whatever, and there's like a fine line between having a lot of integrity and maybe lack of ambition.
Right.
It's like I don't know. Just it's better to try than it is to just look at everybody else and make fun of them for trying.
Bro, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
I will.
And it's a day-to-day process,
dude. You don't know how, because people talk about like this guy's a hack or whatever. It's like, yeah, well, he's sitting in a fucking jacuzzi right now. It's like, I wish I could be a hack and have a house from being a hack. Like, part of me wishes, like, what is? It's so arbitrary too. Like, it is funny. I think people love you when you're down, and then as soon as you get to any sort of fame and then or something, then that's when people are like, oh yeah, this kind of sucks.
Dude, I want that shit. I want people to. I want the haters, bro.
You're like, I mean, if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. Yeah. Like, real talk.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Everybody loves me because I don't have shit. I don't have nothing. I have like, and I'm just trying. I'm throwing everything at the fucking wall. Like, I mean, recently that stupid how to get free breakfast every single day video from just stealing continental breakfast. That's got me 450 new followers.
Not bad, bro.
And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible. I love this so much.
Yeah. I think I got way too lucky with when I popped
You were
off
in the
when
the
I
right
did.
place
I
at
was
the
in the
right
right
time.
place at the
I
right
was in
time,
the
just
right place.
uploading stand-up clips.
In the
However,
wrong time.
I don't upload stand-up clips now, and maybe if I did,
they bomb
you know,
now. They fucking
yeah.
bomb now. And
Yeah.
maybe yours.
Well, even the podcast used to do better back in the day. It's just, you know, it's like oversaturated,
Yeah.
and it is funny too that I'm trying to like get big on like YouTube Shorts and like TikTok and stuff. When generally, like, I hate that I use it as much as I do. Like, I don't think these are like good
I
platforms, and yet
know.
I'm trying to like. I think, like, if I'm being totally honest, like the best thing I could like what I truly believe is that the best thing you can do for your life is just never use TikTok or Instagram. Is just don't give any of your attention to these corporations who, you know, it's like who are sucking the life out of you. I mean,
Yeah.
taking like, you know, 10 hours a day from your life.
Sucking you clean.
Yeah, literally, like your attention is like traveling from your brain into the pockets of billionaires, and so I'm like, you know, cut it off. Like, that's what I would want to tell somebody.
Yeah.
Because I, you know, am addicted to it. I still live a good life and I'm
Right.
happy, but, you know, I think these things are better not used, and
Yeah.
yet I think that. But the other side of me is also trying to take people's attention and go, look at me, you know? It's like, actually use these apps more. It's a hard
such a
thing.
fine line, because I think someone put it the best way. It's like, we go up there on the stage and try to perform to like that room, which is beautiful and amazing. But if you were to bring that to TikTok, I mean, you're performing. If you can perform you can perform to billions of people. You know,
Yeah.
millions of people.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, the other side of it is that it's like, yeah, if more people can see stand up or whatever, then that's a
Yeah.
good thing. But I think, yeah, it's not. I think there's cooler ways of doing things.
Of course,
Genuinely, I think what you're doing with your podcast,
Yeah.
when I see you walking down the street just kind of interviewing people,
Yeah.
I think there's something way cooler
Yeah.
and like just DIY and punk rock about that compared to, I don't know,
It is.
someone who's making some bullshit.
Which
and
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the bullshit, but I'm also trying to do like a little bit of passion projects. And nobody will really see the passion projects. They'll probably see more of the bullshit. But if they're
It's
a
the
big
groove
fan,
tax.
the groove tax,
Yeah,
man,
it's the
it
groove
goes back
tax.
to the groove tax. Which
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do tonight in Riverwalk. I'm totally gonna audio log. I've changed it 3 times now.
And this was very inside baseball with the stand-up stuff. This is okay for the podcast?
Oh,
This
yeah,
is,
absolutely.
Because this is just us discussing our issues with wanting to be famous, but also like,
No, I
you
think
know.
people generally like to hear it. You know?
Yeah, I think
really
so.
do.
Yeah, because there's interesting stuff still being made. Like, I'll see some YouTube videos that are like weirdly popular, that are like really cool and creative, and you've got like, you know, guys like John Wilson or
Yeah.
Nathan Fielder. You know, there's interest. It's like, you know, people who say like, oh, no good movies come out or whatever. It's like, no, good movies come out. You just
Bro,
gotta
you're
watch them.
tripping,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
Good music. I'm like, just look for it. I'm like, what? You know, it's like
Yeah.
there's so much interesting stuff being made.
Hello,
It's,
Bumblebee.
you know, you just gotta look for it, and yeah, it's the same thing with like Get Good. Like, you know, a lot of people saw episode 1, but the other episodes didn't do as well. But I always told myself, I'm like, even if nobody watches it, as long as I'm proud of the thing, that's all that matters.
Well, how many people saw episode 1?
Episode 1 was like 70,000, and
That's
the other ones
crazy.
were like around 2, 3, 4,000.
That's still unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, which episode 1 is I had the least, hand in, but the.
What do you mean, like directing wise?
Yeah, like the episode 1, we didn't have a good system working. It was just kind of like a mess. Like, it was like
Oh, wow.
but it's still great. I mean, like, I can't deny like the it was like a, you know, super cool. And I had some fucking point with bringing up Get Good. But the fact that like even if nobody sees it, you're still proud of the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the goal, is to make something that like
proud of.
Yeah, just so that if you're only making stuff you don't even like in order to get, you know, views, you're just like, it didn't work, and then 2, you're just kind of embarrassed of what you made. So that, like, I tried to make video essays for like a second, and I was like, this isn't me. I'm not, you know, it's like,
Yeah, no.
I'm just trying to do this for the view. It's not, there's no passion here.
What was the video essay you were trying to do?
Just about like Dune and like Marvel
Okay.
movies and stuff, because I knew that was like in the algorithm, and I had
Yeah.
a lot to say about it. But we'll see. I mean, you know,
kind of video essay. It's not close to a video essay at all. But you're just sharing your opinion a little bit on your podcast. Which
yeah,
is cool.
I think that's like the happy medium. I
Yeah.
think that's like really fortunate that me and Christoph started that
Which
up again.
that's a great. I think that's gonna do. How many views does that podcast get?
Not much right now. I mean, the podcasts themselves are usually like 100,
Is it
sometimes
on
less.
just only on YouTube?
It's only on YouTube right now because
You don't even put the audio up on Spotify?
need to start. Yeah.
It's so easy. I feel
No,
like.
I know it is,
Yeah.
but it's so much time in the fucking
Yeah,
day.
I know, bro.
Even just to upload it on YouTube, it takes me fucking forever just
I
to like wait for it to
know.
upload and shit.
Bro.
So I need to I'm starting slow, so I'm
Yeah.
pushing myself into okay, then I'm gonna do it on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's so easy to push things off till tomorrow.
It is. That's been my motto lately. Is don't push it off till tomorrow because tomorrow will never come.
Yeah.
So say yes today.
I know, and it's hard to say yes when you're sick. So now that
I
I'm
know.
not sick anymore, I have no excuses.
Well, shit, dude, it's getting a little dark.
Yeah, let's get the frick out of here. We're
Yeah.
in San Antonio right now.
We did it, bro. This is awesome. This is cool. I'm glad I did a job site
Yeah.
podcast. Is there any parting words you'd like to say to the podcast?
Yeah, I think the whole conversation has been good. I hope it hasn't been too much complaining about just
No.
whatever. But
Perfect.
I think generally, yeah, my biggest thing to leave on is just to try your hardest to appreciate every moment.
Yeah. Try your hardest to appreciate every moment and love Joe Jax and punch the monkey and.
We forgot to talk about Punch, but it's okay. It'll be out of the news tomorrow.
It'll be out, dude.
Yeah.
All right, homie. I love you, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kiss.